Hi everyone, today I'm going to be filming the fastwash 60 cycle in the hotpoint. Now, I've got two pillowcases to wash, and the story behind these, because you wouldn't have seen these before, they're these light blue pillowcases. I believe they are brand new, and there's two of them, and basically what happened was, there's a house nearby us, like not very far away from us, and for the past, well, I don't know how long actually, but 2 days in a row, they have left things out for people to take. So the first day I was coming home, well, I went out first, and then I saw these two cushions on the wall. So I thought to myself, if they're still there, like if no one else has taken them by the time I come home, I'm going to take them with me. So obviously I came home and they hadn't been taken, so I carried them back from where they were, which is only about maybe 10 minutes away from my house. So I carried them back on my way home, and then the next day I came back. This time I was coming back from work, but same again, when I was going to work I saw this time, I didn't know what it was, but it was actually like a pack of like a bedding set. So it was a double bedding set which had a duvet cover, and it had 4 pillowcases, 2 white and 2 and these 2 blue ones, and then it also had a white cushion cover in it too. The duvet cover was white, by the way. Otherwise, obviously, I'll be washing it with these. So these are the odd ones out. So obviously, because I suspect that they're brand new, I don't think they've ever been used. And I believe that the house occupier has died and they're doing a house clearance. And I think the majority of stuff has been put online, but a couple of odd things have been put on the wall outside for the locals to take. So they're not putting everything out at once, they're putting one thing out each day, if that makes sense. I've not been back since. Next time I'm going is in a couple of days' time. So at the time of filming, it will be 3 days' time from now. So if there's anything there, obviously I'm going to bring it back with me as well, depending on what it is. But yeah, anyway, that's a whole aside to the video. But that's where these have come from. So I now officially have a suit, like it's the best possible outcome because it's a plain white set of bedding. Sadly there's no bed sheet, but it's a duvet cover set. It's not like a full bedding set, so that's fine. Because I don't use duvets, as most people know, I use a weighted blanket. And I don't cover those, so yeah, I have no use for duvet covers. But I'm going to keep that one, and it's going to be my filming bedding. So maybe I will start doing like all cotton 90s, for example, with that bedding, plus my own bedding, because I use white bed sheets and white pillowcases. So yeah, I might make use of the pillowcases though, but we'll see. Anyway. So that's where these have come from. Earlier today, because it was yesterday night that I picked them up at about 11:30 or so, because I finished work quite late. So obviously I didn't have time to wash them then. So I washed that set of bedding this morning on the day of filming, and that was fine. So now I'm going to wash these. I was going to wash these directly after, but I decided, no, I'm going to save it and I'm going to film fastwash 60 with them. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to turn it to program 4, which is fastwash 60. We're going to leave it at 60, obviously because it's bedding. It does seem brand new. It wasn't sealed, by the way. The packet wasn't sealed. So they have opened the packet, and I guess they probably took them out to have a look at them and then put them away for I don't know how long. Yeah, I don't know how old it is, but it doesn't look like it's ever been used. Doesn't smell like it's been used. But just to be sure, I'm going to wash it like I did with the cushions. Although I know they've been used because there's a date code stamped on the cushion of 2015. So, you know, older than the washing machine in front of me. Anyway, very small amount of Fairy Non-Bio to go in. We can have options. I'm not going to though, I'm just going to leave it as standard. I've got the energy meter in place for this one, so we're going to see how much it uses. And yeah, off we go. 32, which is the same as what I read with the wire probe the other day. Right, there we are. That is the end of Fastwash 60. And it's also the end of this machine on the channel. So, second and final video, which I am going to miss it actually, and I'll explain more once I've taken a photo of the pillows stuck to the drum, pillowcases rather. There we go. Right, let me put the light back in place so you can see. Okay, so yeah, this machine will no longer be featured. This is the second video I've taken. This is the final video I'm taking. Yeah, due to the drum, which I have mentioned before, both on Instagram and in the eco video, it's got early bearing failure, and you heard it here as well. Something is rubbing because the drum has a bit of play, not very much, but enough that when it's on spin, something is rubbing ultimately, and eventually, you know, that's going to cause problems. Eventually, that rubbing is going to basically cut whatever it's rubbing against in half, and make like a leak, or you know, it's going to affect the structural integrity of something in the machine, and whether or not that causes a leak depends on whether it's rubbing at the bottom or at the top. So yeah, it could last for ages like this, it could last a week like this, I don't know. But I bought it on the understanding it was fully working, so because it's not fully working and it's not in the condition they said it was in, it is being swapped for a different machine. So yeah, that's where we stand with this one. I'm going to miss it. It does have the new programming, which people know that I didn't like it. I'm used to it now, so I can live with that programming. But I'm not going to go out and buy a new hotpoint, because yeah, there are better options. And if all of the options on the market now were to be, you know, ruined, maybe I would go and buy a hotpoint or an insert, a brushed hotpoint or insert. But for now, they are not my first choice, and I won't be going and buying one when I want a new machine. Instead, I will probably opt for, you know, one from before Eco 4060, because, you know, they're better. But it will always be brushed. If I ever get a hotpoint or insert, unless it's a temporary machine, it will be brushed. If it's for the collection, it will be brushed, because brushless are just so inconsistent and so hit or miss with their balancing. Anyway, so yeah, my slimmest machine, my smallest machine, 40 litre drum, and almost half the depth of the IZ, you know, it's fun. It's a fun, interesting and unique machine, and I'm not going to have that uniqueness and that, you know, fun aspect with the machine that it's being replaced with. Although I think I will like the machine it's being replaced with, and it is an upgrade to this machine, I don't think it's going to have the same character that this machine does, despite this having the new programming rather than the old programming that I was expecting it to. So, you know, if it wasn't for the drum, I would have kept this, and I would have kept it going on forever. But because I want to replace the motor with a welling, and the feet also need replacing because they're damaged, so that's the feet and the motor I already want to replace, which is going to probably cost another, well, the motor's going to cost between sort of £25 and £50 because I do want a new one, and the feet are going to cost probably about £10 if I buy the genuine parts, you know, so that's already possibly £60 on top of the £85 that the machine was bought for. You know, that we're looking at £130 for a machine that I would want to keep going forever, but that's before the drum. So if the drum was to fail, or if the bearings completely failed, you know, within the next week and it becomes unusable, I'd either have to get the bearings and take the tub out, change the bearings, which I would do, but there comes the problem of if the tub is not splittable, or if the tub has been damaged by that rubbing, because remember, I don't know how long it's been like that, I've only had this a couple of days. If the tub has been damaged by that rubbing, I would then have to replace the whole tub. That's going to cost probably more than this machine cost when it was brand new. And that is when I consider something not worth repairing, when it costs more to repair it than it would have cost to buy it brand new. So yeah, that is the end of this machine on this channel, unfortunately. Now that's not to say I won't bring another one in future. It's not a very common model. I've only seen 2 of them, as I say, one on Witchwasher's channel and this one that I've got here. But, you know, maybe there's an alternative. Like, perhaps I might bring a different range, slim version of a hotpoint or an insert in future, because I do like small drums, and, you know, perhaps I'll find a slim version of a different brand, you know, maybe, because I've not tried Midia yet, so maybe I'll get a slim Midia and see how they are. Anyway, conversation for another day. Point is, this machine will be missed, even though it's not most people's cup of tea. Anyway, that final spin completely disproved my point in the last video, because it decided it's going to go to 1200 instead of 1150, when literally all of the cycles I've done before filming only went to 1150, and now it's decided it's going to go to 1200 on both of the cycles that I filmed, even though I used fastwash 60 itself and it did 1150. So whether that's something to do with the brushes or whether it just decides to pick its moments, I will have no idea. But I can tell it went faster because the motor sounded different. Like it went past the point it did on previous washes. So it does do true 1200. My point was wrong. So yeah, there is no difference. Anyway, results. They have stuck to the drum, which does not happen often on this machine, I will say, being a 1200 spin. Saying that, on my insert, things stuck to the drum fairly often, mainly towels, but bedding I don't expect to stick to the drum. So yeah, that's a little bit creased, but they'll come out when it's drying. Smells great. Job done. Now, about the actual cycle itself, that's a very good quick cycle, actually. It does not use excessive water, unlike pretty much all quick cycles out there. In fact, I think it uses less than cotton, especially on the rinses, because I think the rinses are just above the drum rim, and on here they're just below the drum rim. So yeah, it does actually use less water than cotton. And it also heats to 52, 53 degrees, which for such a short 60-degree wash, I think is pretty good. And it reached that within only about 16 or 17 minutes, which for a, what is it, 1700 watt element, it's not bad at all. It might be 1750. Still, not bad. And it also held at 600 for longer than it does on the longer cycles. That's thanks to the old insert spin programming, which this cycle features. Whereas the other cycles, like Cotton and Eco, they have the newer spin programming, which spends probably about 30 seconds maximum at 600. You'll see in the Eco 60 video. But this spent, well, it must have been over a minute at 600, which is really good. That will help with the rinse performance on, you know, on this cycle. It does do the full 2 rinses as well, which is really good. So yeah, I really can't complain about that cycle. That is a quick cycle I will use because it allows 60, it allows the full 1200, it spins for the same length, it rinses exactly the same, and it washes pretty well too. So yeah, maybe my favourite quick cycle actually. tied with the IZ's quick cycle because I like that the programming on the IZ's quick cycle because it's very well thought through, as is this one. So yeah, perhaps those two are tied for my favourite. Anyway, this video has gone for long enough. Let's do the energy meter reading and then we will finish up the video. So, energy usage for this cycle was 0.491 kilowatt hours, which for a 60 is impressive. And yeah, 60s usually use near sort of 3/4 of a kilowatt hour, or maybe 1 kilowatt hour. But I suppose it is a slim machine, and being slim it uses less water, so it kind of makes sense. But still, that's pretty good. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing this hot point on the channel. It was quite short-lived. My second shortest lived machine on the channel actually. The first being the Candy Ultra, which got... how many videos did I make of that? 2? So it's actually probably tied with this one. But I'll still give this one the second shortest lived, because this had wash cycles out of it, whereas the Candy Ultra did not have wash cycles out of it. And then the Hair got 3 wash cycles. So yeah, it's in between those two. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please leave a like. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.